move on to the topic, it's must to know who is the founder of corpus linguistics. Noam Chomsky is said to be known as the founder of corpus linguistics. Before knowing what is corpus, it is must to know why it is needed in linguistics. The linguist's examination and description of a language do not proceed in a haphazard fashion. Instead, it is considered by several techniques that can. It is hoped that linguists make his work objective and independent on his own whims and fancies. His ideas are independent and to be freedom in his work. Some linguists believe that it is a good idea to obtain a number of samples of the language they are considering and to organize these samples in some coherent way to analyze the language better. These samples can of course be spoken or written in the language. That is, say for example tape recordings or conversation or a people telling stories or just talking. Not only this, the transcription of recorded interviews or shorthand notes of talks overheard in public places as well as documents, books, periodicals, newspapers, anything from important literary works to trivial gossip can be taken as samples, which is known as corpus in linguistics. It is obvious that a linguist cannot examine the whole of a language in the sense of everything that is spoken and written. But the best he can do is he can try to make this choice of samples as representative as possible. Or if the choice is deliberately limited, say to the language as it exists in writing or something like that, to state quite clear what its range is. To make such analysis, the linguist environment of a linguist form consists of the linguist forms in its immediate neighborhood is must. Thus, it can be stated that the collection of samples that the linguist uses in his examination process is called corpus in linguistics. These samples can be either a spoken or in written format, which can be used in the examination process of a language. The inclusion of a written corpus in book would greatly add to its size. In order to prevent this, it would have to be transcribed in some way that showed the sounds of speech as they were actually spoken, like dialect, intonation and so on, or the reader would have to be supplied with gramophone records or tape record. Thus, on the nutshell, it can be concluded that the corpus is the samples to examine a language. Thank you.